Ladies and gentlemen, this is Comics Covered for the week of June 5, 2019, episode 79. Talking about the economy today. Sorry.
Oh boy.
I know, right? The economy. I couldn't.
In this economy?
I don't know.
I'm doing, and then you do a Jon Stewart kind of collar pull.
But alas, here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them, not the economy.
How confusing would that be if we had an economics show, but we called it The Wonderful World of Pop Culture or something like that? It's just completely disregarding the title.
Okay, I mean, I'd totally be down. I'm super into stuff like that, actually, but it doesn't read that well is the only problem.
Yeah.
I guess this isn't a reading format, it's a listening format, so fuck everybody.
No, but, well, you can use the word read in a non-literal, reading words sense. It can mean,
read the situation.
Is it understandable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get that.
Does it read?
I could read that.
You're stretching it there.
Okay, sorry. We're not a yoga podcast, Doug. Nonetheless, the comics industry, comics movies, TV, games, these are all things that we talk about. We'll also talk spoilers about the books that we like. Well, the books
not necessarily that we like, but usually.
We'll talk spoilers about books that we're interested to talk about. We'll warn you about them, though, with a spoiler warning that is the same, our go-to trademark spoiler warning sound. I have
the soundboard ready right here. I click the spoiler warning sound button on my soundboard every week, and it's the same thing every time.
That's very nice. I'm Mr. Hoff, first name Jack. I'm still very new to comics. You get it, Doug?
I got it.
Thanks. But I'm here with someone who's not as new as me. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm Doug Price, and I'm
Price of Justice.
The Price of Justice.
Can that be your name? Actually, you should be.
But that's not a name, though. That's a phrase.
It can be the name.
It could be Justice Price. Oh, that's a good fucking name.
That's really good.
I should name my child Justice.
Oh my god, I would. Please do that. I'm going to call them Justice no matter what you name them. So, there you go. You're halfway there.
Yeah, or Justice Peace. My last name's not Peace, but...
No, I like Justice Price. That's a... Even, I think that's non-gender, that can be used for...
Justice is one of those I hate conceptual word names. I would never actually name my child Justice,
okay.
But those names tend to be gender neutral because they're not really names.
Yeah.
Although I guess justice is one of those words that there are definitely a bunch of people in the world named Justice.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
Absolutely. I knew someone whose name was Love Magnificent Jones.
Wow. That is quite a mouthful. I think the main actor in Detective Pikachu is named Justice.
Huh.
I think it's Justice Smith. Yeah. He's very good. I liked him.
Very good.
Yeah. Anyways.
Doug, what have you done with your life? What crime
what have I done?
Yeah, what crime have you stopped as the Justice of Price, the Price of Justice?
As the Price of Justice.
Yeah.
See, you can't say... If the name was Price Justice, which still kind of works, but it's not as good of a name, you could say the Justice of Price... the Price of Justice, because you're of the family Justice.
But you
can't really say it the other way around.
What if you are Price of House Justice?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your first name would have to be Price.
Yeah.
And then your last name would be Justice if you wanted to say Price of Justice. But, yeah, anyways. My week was good.
That's great.
I spent a lot of it out of town at my family's cabin in Wisconsin. It's a nice place. All my siblings were up there. I don't get to see them very often.
Is it by a lake? I've never been up there.
It is within feet of a lake. Some number of feet. I don't know.
Paul Bunyan's feet.
What?
Well, if it's, within a foot of, the lake.
I said feet.
I know. No, I know. But like a pair of feet can't be that big, so.
Well, you don't know whose feet we're talking about. There's some big steppy feet, like a Galactus foot.
Ooh, that's good. Good.
That would be like a mile or a few miles wide, I feel like.
I don't know.
How big do you think Galactus's feet are?
I haven't read that much Galactus. I've honestly only ever seen him as like, can you tell me, I've had this question for a long time. How does Galactus like land on Earth? Does he like jump on Earth and like he's just there now? Or does he have like a spaceship, like a giant spaceship?
It's very confusing. Honestly, whenever they show him kind of in space, it always just seems like he's just kind of like standing there or walking.
Walking on
he's
space?
In space.
Oh.
But then when he goes to Earth, he always ends up like walking directly at it with like his chest forward at it. So he's not like walking at an angle so he can like hit the ground running on the Earth like a plane or something. He's just kind of like moving towards it, chest first. And I don't understand, like he would just fall flat on his face if he did that.
Yeah. Wait,
I don't know.
What's this? I don't really know the size of him also. Is he like Godzilla sized, or is he like bigger, or is he like change sizes? He doesn't change sizes, right?
That's not like a power of his. I would imagine I feel like there's some variability in terms of how artists draw him, how big they draw him, but I don't know how, let's see. I'm willing to bet our friendly, defunct site Comic Vine has a measurement, like a height.
Is it defunct?
They don't put shit on there anymore.
That's too bad.
I think they got absorbed into, some other, I think they put stuff on like GameSpot or something. Anyways.
Okay. Interesting.
That he is.
Like, are they the same size as Celestials?
I mean,
they seem similar, right?
Yeah. God, you'd think he would just have a height. It says varies, but the number they have here is, that's not right. No.
What is it? Tell me.
It says 28. It says 28.9. That's
28
no
feet 9 inches.
That's nearly
horseshit.
tall.
No, that's
enough.
ridiculous.
That's garbage. Who said this?
Some garbage person.
You find them for me, because there are versions of him that are more like just like a really big human man, and then there are versions that are like, yeah, he's like Godzilla. Okay. So I don't know.
Okay,
depends.
Well.
But you've definitely did you ever watch Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Oh, are you saying that he's a cloud?
Yes, he is a cloud.
Okay.
No. But that is what he was in that movie, and boy, is it stupid.
Oh my god. I was watching a video about how there have been way too many cloud villains. Like, I guess they made Parallax a cloud as well. Is he usually cloud too?
Yeah. He was a big gray cloud. I don't understand what it is. Like if you can't take the villain seriously, why are you doing that villain? Like, pick a different character.
I think they would say,
like, why do you need to make them into a cloud?
I think they would say it's the best of both worlds. They get to be excited about their character, and the people can accept this as a ominous thing. But, it's just a stupid device.
Cloud is not an interesting villain.
Like in Lost, Doug. You ever watched Lost, right?
I have watched Lost.
Cloud monster.
There is the smoke monster in Lost, but like, you don't spend a bunch of time with like people fighting the smoke monster. Like, the smoke monster is just kind of does stuff, and people don't know what it is. Like, it's more of a mystery than it is like an active character in the story.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
What was I? We were talking about our weeks. We were talking about our weeks, weren't we?
We got very distracted about Galactus's feet. This is our new Galactus foot fetish podcast that we do every week. We found a dead squirrel under a couch I was sitting on at the cabin. That was fun.
How dead?
It was horrifying.
Was it like gutted, or was it just like
quite dead? Well, it had clearly been there for what must have been weeks.
Oh god. Was it?
It's smelled just awful and had like ballooned out under the couch and like rigor mortis or whatever, it had like solidified into so it was like, imagine a bearskin rug, but it's a squirrel and squirrel sized, obviously, and you've like, I don't know, you poured a bunch of something on it that would make it stiff as a board. So yeah, but it's like stretched out like a bearskin rug. And so that was it.
Galactus' foot fetish podcast has taken a dark turn.
Yes. I'm sorry for that bit of body horror there just now. But
that was fun to think about. Wait, but it wasn't like opened up or anything. It was just like it died of natural causes, it looked like?
No, we weren't like we weren't seeing like innards or anything, but it was sure fucked up.
What do you think it died from? Heat?
I don't know. I think it might have got stuck. It was like halfway under.
Oh, that's a sad way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways.
Let's name the squirrel so we can remember him. Name him...
Flat. It's Flat
Stanley! Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my week did not involve seeing any dead squirrels, which was nice. That's great.
That's always nice.
I went to a concert for one of the first times in a long time. I saw Mariana's Trench. Have you ever heard about them? I was telling you a little bit about them.
That's that place what James Cameron always really wants to go down into with his submarines.
He actually really wants to go inside this whole band's asshole, but, you know. Pesky laws.
To be honest, Mariana's Trench does sound like some sort of sexual innuendo.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. In a second. I mean, a deep valley through which horrors and wonders are both held.
If any episode of our show ever really warranted the explicit content tag on iTunes, it's this one.
Okay, can we give it now? Is that against the rules or
what?
Listener discretion is advised. Don't we have to say that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we should put a warning at the top. No, I just mean there's a tag on us because we swear and shit.
Oh, okay.
on
I've
the show.
many times on the show, but no.
Yeah,
my concert. The concert I went to was great. This band is awesome. The guy has a really fucking like awesome voice. They go between like more rock stuff and more like some more poppy stuff. I like their rock stuff a lot more. In their rock stuff, it reminds me a lot of. I was actually just thinking about it. It reminds me a lot of Good Charlotte back in the day, but even better than that, honestly. Like, 'cause I don't really like Good Charlotte's good. But,
I was gonna say you said like even better than that, as if I was supposed to go like, oh my god, even better than Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte was good. I mean, it was not said in the best way, but
it was
I really
a time
like
and
band.
place thing. Yeah,
I really like this band. I think everyone should check them out. They're fun. Oh, and also there's an opening act by this dude named Corey Hellman, and that dude has an awesome voice, and he was a good performer, and yeah, that dude has a good rock voice too.
Okay.
That was
to the Hellman's Mayonnaise Company.
Yes. My, Samantha, at some point thought his name was Heilman, and I was like, that would not be good with the Jewish crowd. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
I love when I make a joke that's like a little bit offensive. You just are so disappointed in me, and you just want to move on.
Yeah. Sounds about right. All right.
Okay, Doug, do you want to get into news?
Oh, those dulcet tones. Yes, let's do that.
Dulcet tones. I love that. That's good. What does dulcet mean?
It is a thing you say before tones.
Oh.
I don't know.
God damn it.
It means like sweet, like melodic is what I interpreted it.
You know what?
Mean.
You go between giving me shit for not knowing what words sound like and also not knowing what the words...
It means like nice to listen to. Dulcet. Let me look it up. Dulcet. It means sweet and soothing.
Okay, great. Good job, Doug.
Often used ironically, it says.
Oh, well, you did kind of say it sarcastically, so it makes sense. But they are dulcet. I made the tones. I know.
Yeah, you made those tones.
All right, well, let's get on to news. I'll give you some more dulcetness right here. Sorry. So, first bit of news. in the trend of adding as many imprints as we can to DC, we're rumored to be closing one. That's one of the longest running. DC is thinking about closing up Vertigo, apparently. Rumored. And this actually comes from Bleeding Cool, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Right?
Not more so than a lot of other comics news sites. They do some decent investigative stuff.
Okay.
Cool. But they also report a lot of rumors and stuff, so who knows? Okay.
Apparently people hold the notion that Vertigo has been declining since the firing of Karen Berger from the place. So it hasn't been really the creator-owned sanctuary that it has been in the past. It's more just a different brand of DC, which makes sense.
Kinda.
The only thing I'm reading from Vertigo right now is High Level, which is really great. But I can tell, it's not the Vertigo that gave us Watchmen. It's not the Vertigo that gave us, all that shit. So,
well, the interesting thing is, so originally Vertigo was basically, it was an imprint for DC stuff that was more aimed at mature audiences. So that's why it's stuff like Swamp Thing was a Vertigo book. Animal Man was a Vertigo book. Watchmen's not set in continuity, but it definitely fits the kind of tonal mold. But then, so over years, they kind of dropped a lot of, other than the long running ones like Hellblazer and stuff, they kind of dropped the fact that it was in continuity, and it just kind of became their place for creator-owned stuff. And then over time, they just started slowly publishing less and less under that, until the last few years, they did one kind of small relaunch a few years ago where they announced a whole bunch of new books. I think a lot of those have ended. They just haven't really been keeping up with it. And it's weird because they announced a whole bunch of other, they have Young Animal, which is basically another Vertigo. They have Black Label, which is basically another Vertigo. They just have so many redundant things. I don't know, although Vertigo is kind of the only place that they have to do non-DC universe stuff, which is interesting. Because I think both Black Label and Young Animal are all supposed to be in canon. So,
well, Black Label not necessarily, because Batman. Well,
not in canon, but about DC characters like definitely. Batman and stuff.
Well, I mean, the one I was just talking about, High Level has been a great non-DC story that's coming out of them, and it's kind of putting all their eggs in one basket if they get rid of that area. But you got to think that they're going to have some place for that if they get rid of.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do if they'll just start. If they're just going to stop publishing that kind of creator-owned outside the DCU stuff in one of these other labels, or sorry, I mixed up my sentences there. If they're just going to stop doing them altogether, or if they're going to start putting them in one of the Black Label or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like they need a different brand for something so people aren't confused. I feel like that was kind of became the point of Vertigo.
Yeah.
Was other stuff that they're publishing that isn't about, Green Lantern or Wonder Woman or whatever, but it's just other comics they're putting out, I don't know.
Yeah. But, that'd be sad to see it go, but such a, historic thing. Gotta think that if it does go, they might bring it back at some point and make a big deal about it.
They will.
What?
I said, they will, and they'll bring back they'll get some high-profile creator or something to run it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
nothing is ever dead in DC, except for Batman's penis.
Why is it dead?
Because they removed it from the printing of Batman Damned.
Oh, well, no, it all lives on in our hearts and minds.
Yes.
And in the copies that you and I have.
Yes. You gotta get that graded. You gotta keep it. It's gonna be a big deal, Doug. Everyone's gonna want his penis.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna want it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fun bit of news. It's not fun. Sorry. It's a bit of news. It's more fun than a dead squirrel, so there you go. In the interest of talking about body horror, we had some news about Swamp Thing this week. I haven't watched the new episode. Did you, Doug?
I did. It was okay. This show is okay.
That's too bad.
I was intrigued after the first episode, and I think it'll get better once we get to actual Swamp Thing being Swamp Thing and other people being aware of him as Swamp Thing. Because I actually really liked the version of Alec Holland they had in the first episode.
Yeah.
But then the second episode, spoilers for that show, like, he's been turned into Swamp Thing, but it's like, he's not really a huge part of the episode because like people aren't aware of him yet, and he doesn't know what's going on with him. So
are they trying to use him as like a don't show him a lot sort of thing?
Sort of. It's not like they're like holding him back a ton. It's just like he doesn't really do much in the episode. He's just kind of like running around. I don't know.
Just like, I'm Swamp Thing.
But he doesn't talk, you know, like he's not really much of a character in the episode. So I don't know. Hopefully that'll change, but
it won't have that much time to change, Doug, because it's canceled.
Yeah. They canceled it after the first episode, which is bonkers. I mean,
well, it makes sense because of the reason. Like, here we go. There's a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole thing. So what happened here was they didn't cancel it, you know, I don't know if this is fortunate. They didn't cancel it based off of the creativity in it. They didn't cancel it based off of like lack of viewership of the first episode or anything. No, not for really any dumb reason at all on DC's side. So theoretically, it could come back if they have the logistics in place. But those logistics got fucked up this first time around with North Carolina because so the people were like, okay, let's film in North Carolina. They're saying we can get a rebate of $40 million. Which means that's half their budget. So they basically only have to pay half to, you know, make this show. Now, North Carolina, because of some quote unquote paperwork error, fucked this bit of stuff up, and they went back and said, oh, you know, actually it's like $13 million. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a little bit less than $30 to $40 million. And they just had to stop it because they said they wouldn't be able to create the season 2 at the quality of season 1 or at the quality they would want in general. So, I mean, it totally makes sense. It sucks and it's fucking weird, but like, hey, you know, that happens, I guess. I mean,
it's extra confusing because I'm looking at I just searched this to find, I think your link you sent me broke, but I searched to find another article, and I'm looking at a different article that basically is the film board in North Carolina is saying that no series can get more than 12 million per season. So I don't know that there's some kind of weird fucking miscommunication happening in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Or DC's just, Warner Brothers is just trying to like cover their ass with the fans. Who knows?
Maybe.
Although that's not covering your ass because you look like fucking dumbasses.
Yeah. Seriously, on a business side, maybe not on a creative side, but on a business side, absolutely.
Like, if for some reason, some kind of mistake with this text shit is why this show got canceled, like, whatever, I'm not like upset, but like, you look stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's the dumbest reason to cancel a show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No, you're right.
If they were just, if they just came out and were like, it wasn't up to the quality bar that we wanted, like, and we would like to focus on other projects, like, okay, sure, I respect that. But like, it's the fucking, like, if you are a person who enjoys that show, that feels so fucking frustrating.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ugh.
I agree. But yeah, that's about all I have. I don't think there was much else. Like, it was just a weird fucking situation that is handled poorly on the business side. Yeah. The other thing I have on here is not that much of a discussion. It was just a tweet that Mitch Gerards put out. He, was talking about how he's doing some quick Batman work before, he has a secret book with Tom King that they're planning, which I'm super pumped for, but I really just wanted to mention it because I think the way Mitch Gerards draws the Joker is my favorite.
Yeah? Something about him is like a little too over the top creepy for me.
Really?
I love it. Like, it looks, the craft behind it is great. It's just like not necessarily the version of Joker that I like the most. I like a little bit more kind of like reserved kind of Joker.
But I feel like a lot of times like, I remember in Heroes in Crisis when he was drawing the Joker, the clothes that the Joker was wearing was pretty normal actually, but the face, like everything comes out of the face when he draws him.
Oh yeah.
And
he's terrifying.
I really like that. I like the reserved at the bottom like looking classy at the bottom, but the face there's just so much terror drawn into that face, and it just, I don't know, there's something about it that just really, I really, really love. Also, I feel like at this point in history, the Joker is like, he's an older character. He's been around forever. And I feel like there's a sense of elderliness that I see.
Oh yeah. He draws him like older. Like he's got like age lines everywhere. He's a little more wrinkly.
Yeah.
And that I definitely like that. I like seeing age on my comic book characters because everyone always just draws everybody to be this like late 20s, early 30s kind of like ageless person, like attractive people. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, I know the Joker is a villain. He doesn't necessarily fit that, but like even still, like people don't really usually draw the Joker as having really any signs of age.
Yeah.
Like the rest of these characters. So I don't know.
I think your late 20s, early 30s estimate is a little bit different. I would say they're usually drawn like late 30s, early 40s.
I don't think so.
They're always adults.
They're always definitely adults, but I think your perception of how those characters look is skewed now that we are older. But I think they're definitely supposed to look like they're in their 30s. Like they don't have it. They're always like in the best shape. They have like very like chiseled features. Like they're supposed to look like younger people.
Okay. I'll say 30s. I'll say like mid to late 30s. I'll give you that. I wouldn't say late 20s though. I don't think so.
I think looking at the drawings, that's what it supports. I would say that the characters, yeah, like you want to talk about Batman's character, that character should be like high 30s, early 40s, if not older. But like, I don't know. But that's just not how they're drawn, I would say. Anyways. Okay.
They'll focus more on the drawing and see like exactly what it looks like more so. Because I feel like I'm bringing in too much of the writing behind it, maybe in my perception. So yeah, I'm going to take a note of that. I'm going to look at that.
Okay. One last little note from here.
Yeah.
Other than it being cool, they've mentioned they're going to do another project before, right?
Huh? Square Enix?
No, sorry, no. Tom King and Mitch Gerrits.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That was an aside.
I think they did. I don't know. I didn't know it was like a secret book. Like they
just haven't announced what it is yet.
I guess so.
All it is.
Yeah.
I think they've said that they are working on something.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Anyways, so this isn't news yet, but E3 is happening this weekend, mm-hmm. and
it's not this weekend. It's actually this week.
Well, it technically was this. I think it was this previous. Oh wait. Oh, is it? Is this the beginning of it? So I always get confused. Are the press conferences to kick it off, or are they to end it?
Yeah. So E3 this year is from Tuesday to Thursday this week.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But the press conferences are starting this week, or this end of this weekend here. We're recording on Sunday when we release this. And the first of those are happening tonight / today. But tomorrow, Monday, Square Enix is doing their press conference, and they have explicitly said that they are going to be doing some sort of gameplay reveal / dive into what their new Avengers game is. Mm-hmm. So that's not necessarily news. That's been kind of known for a little bit, but this week we should know what that game is, at least on a basic level, because it's been in development for a while.
I'm so excited. I'm excited to have some more games talk to actually be able to talk about on the show.
No, for sure. I'm a little concerned because the rumblings around that game have been that it's going to be a team multiplayer focused online game as opposed to any kind of like, I mean, I don't know, maybe there'll still be story in that, but like that's just generally not how I tend to play games.
Yeah.
I have friends that I would definitely play it with for a game like this, for like an Avengers themed thing. Mm-hmm. I would definitely make an effort to try to play with some friends of mine.
Yeah.
Who have PlayStations, but I really hope there's another angle to it, at least in addition to that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyways, we will know more, and we'll talk about it this next week, this next episode.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to learn more. I know that fear is there, but I think a lot of times have at least a really great story in their games, and it's usually not all online, like multiplayer, like just, regular old throw yourself in a situation and shoot yourself way out, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll just have to learn more.
And I don't know, maybe they have this is totally made up, but like, I don't know, I'll withhold judgment because maybe they have some sort of new thing where it's like, there's a lot more story in the multiplayer, component. I don't know. But
I mean, a lot of times with multiplayer games, sometimes they'll have the missions, they'll have missions in, have you ever heard about Titanfall, like how that game is set up?
Yep.
The missions for online multiplayer are a part of the story, and they are played in a certain order. So, maybe they'll do something like that where it's still somewhat rewarding, on a story's plot sense.
I'm guessing it's going to be more like a Destiny or like a Anthem or whatever, where it's like you're teaming up with your friends and you're doing story missions, but it's, I don't know, like a free roaming thing. Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? We'll learn more. We'll tell you next week. Tune in.
Yeah. Cool.
Doug, let's get the horns out. Let's talk about our weekly comics. That means we're talking about our weekly comics. Wonderful, wonderful. Doug loves it. So, Doug, what did we both read this week? You're gonna do it this week. I'm
gonna do the Dark Deed. Yeah. Our books that we read this week, we both read we both picked up. I've been out of town. I haven't read a lot of these, but we both picked up actually, I've read all but one of these. Black Hammer 45, number 4, Deceased, number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Annual, number 1, Shazam, number 6, and The Green Lantern, number 8, The Green Lantern, the.
Thank you. Oh, and I picked up alone Man-Eaters, number 9. Great series, by the way. Justice League, number 25, before we get into here. Meet the Skrulls, number 5. Sherlock, and I picked up Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil, number 1, for $1.
Oh, is that a reprint?
No, it was first printing for local comic book shop day, which I didn't know was a thing.
Local comic book shop day? I have never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a thing. A local comic shop day. Sorry. Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay.
I guess in November or something like that. I don't know.
Okie doke.
But on the front of it, it's a special cover for that day by Allred. Michael Allred, is that his name?
Oh, there's a Mike Allred cover on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Allred has a little insignia for a local comic shop day on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
By the way, so my 2 quick words before you get into what you read this week. Sherlock Frankenstein and Legion of Evil. You didn't tell me that this series was basically going over the Rogues Gallery for Black Hammer universe.
Did I not? I feel like I told you a little bit more about it a few episodes ago when I told you it was about Lucy Weber going through talking to each member of the Legion of Evil to find Sherlock Frankenstein.
Okay, maybe I didn't register that. This shit's fucking awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh my god. Also, this art, David Rubin is one of my new favorites, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Mectoplasm is my new favorite character, maybe in Black Hammer universe.
Oh, it's a great name.
I fucking great character. I love Mectoplasm. He's the best.
He's cool. Yeah, Mectoplasm.
Okay, sorry.
Got a mech with a ghost in it, I think. Right? Is that how he works?
I believe so.
Yeah, Mectoplasm.
So yeah, that was awesome. Loves reading that. I'm totally gonna get that book soon and read it. Other quick word, Justice League. Doug, are you excited to learn who the new character on the, actually wait, I should wait till I spoiler sound. Sorry.
Okay, alright, we'll get back to that. Little tease there.
Little tease.
I also picked up, Batman number 72, Paper Girls number 29, I believe the penultimate issue. I think 30 is the last one, so interested to see how that wraps up. And Young Justice number 6.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'd be happy to give the spoiler warning this time. Is that okay?
Oh, that is fine with me. Proceed.
Okay.
Wow, we got some Foley work on the episode today.
What does that mean?
You know what a Foley artist is? It is a person who records the sounds for film and television and or whatever, games, media, visual media.
Okay. I was going to say we're not film or television here, so I'm not.
No, but yeah, it would still be a Foley artist if they made a sound effect that we would use on here. I don't know. It's just the touch point is like someone's in the, so like they'll be in a studio and they'll like, oh, there's a character walking. So they'll get out their bricks and they'll take a pair of shoes and they'll like tap them on the bricks. You know, I have no idea if that's actually how they do it, but you know, that's the picture I have in my head. There's a very...
What if that's exactly how it happens every single time? Someone always has to say, oh, let's get up the bricks.
Well, no? I didn't mean the word like what I was saying. I meant like that they like tap empty shoes on a few bricks. Anyways, there's a very good human giant. Is that the name of the sketch show? It's Aziz Ansari and Rob Hubel and some other comedian people from back in the day. They had a sketch show, and there's a very good Foley artist sketch where basically they're like, oh, you know, the secret behind when bones break in no, it's the trivia is, did you know that the sound of a human bone breaking sounds exactly like snapping a stalk of celery? And so then they show there's a clip of a person cooking, and then they're in the like Foley studio, and every time they crack the celery, they take a man's like body part and they snap it over like their leg. God. They're like sitting there with headphones, like waiting for the sound effect, and then they like snap the man's arm.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
That's awesome. I love it.
Okay.
Nonetheless, that was our spoiler warning. That entire conversation.
We're
going to talk some spoilers.
I had to get a new soundboard to play that whole clip. It didn't have enough memory.
Amazing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Got to do it. Set a fire. Okay. So I want to talk about Justice League a little bit because I love talking about it with Doug.
Okay.
It's the best.
Sure. Yeah. Who's that? You were teasing me on. There's a new member this week. I dropped off of this book.
Yeah. So they finished the Sixth Dimension storyline, which I thought was a great finish. I understood like what he was going for. I enjoyed the whole thing. Big fan. The new member, the Justice League, Doug, you're going to love it. It's the World Forger.
Oh, fuck.
The World Forger is on the Justice League.
This, like, anti-Monitor level character?
Yes.
Why?
Okay, so it makes sense. So, the whole, like, culmination of this six-dimensional storyline, you know, Batman has seemingly been, like, the only person that the World Forger has convinced that, like, a bunch of death and destruction is necessary, like, a bunch of killing people is necessary to have, like, this utopia later, you know, where they're perfect versions of themselves and everything. The World Forger thinks this. He kind of convinced Batman this, but he didn't convince, obviously, the rest of the Justice League. The rest of Justice League's like, dude, that's fucking evil. Why would you ever do that? And Superman's been in a prison, like, basically a prison without sunlight, like, this entire time. Thinking about memories that, like, he first has the good part of the memory, and then he has the bad part of the memory.
Okay.
So the culmination is that, like, Batman was putting a ruse on for the World Forger guy.
Yeah,
Not really. Like, he truly believed that, yes, that is probably the best way to get to this. Like, as a detective, I can see that all the clues of our lives, all the clues of, like, the human race lead to this being the perfect version, perfect solution.
Right.
On top of that, you know, he says, but I know that people like Superman will show me, like, inspire me to see things that I don't originally see, that are theoretically impossible in my mind. So we, like, need his sort of, like, that's why he's there, like, to inspire us to be greater than all the moving parts lead us, you know? So he basically convinces the World Forger through this that, like, we can rise above to make a greater world than what you have here, than the perfect version you have here. So that's why he wants to work with them, in this reality, which I guess, you know, it is special because of the whole metaverse thing. I don't know if they're banking off of that, but whatever. So the World Forger is working with them against like the Doom sort of shit now. It kind of makes sense. It's a little ridiculous.
So is he a permanent? Is he like is he actually joining the team, or is he like just working with them?
He's actually joining the team. It seems like he's like they say. We would love you to be a member of the Justice League, and he comes with them back to the regular dimension.
What does he do?
I mean, they said like, okay, one second. I have to
because up until now, he's just been kind of in my mind. He's just like he's a god. Like he makes universes. So like as a member of the Justice League, what does he do?
So he
to help them.
Fight with you. So remake yourselves. You are the World Forger. No, okay.
I just mean, like, do they have an action sequence where he does stuff with them?
I don't know what he does.
Yeah, because that's just I'm just so curious. If you write an action scene, what does he do other than, like, having him punch people? Does he make things? Is he going to, like...
I feel like he might make things into existence to a point.
But that's like Green Lantern, but like without limits.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with him. Like, if it's just him hitting stuff with his hammer every once in a while, it might be annoying, but I don't know. So far, they haven't like had an action scene with him. They just had the first half of this, which was the culmination of the six-dimensional storyline, and the second half of this was written by James Tynion, and it was sort of a follow-up to... It was the heroes coming to the regular dimension after the events of DC's You're the Villain. Like, after Lex Luthor blew himself up, and all that shit. And them sort of getting the idea of what the world is like right now, and what they have to do.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, everything they've set up of what they have to do is cool. It looks like what the World Forger is doing right now is... He said that he needs to find the Monitor and Anti-Monitor so they can help with this threat as well. Perpetua and such. Like, they put her down before they can do it again sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's his goal for the foreseeable future, which makes sense.
Okay, I just don't know about them putting him on the team. That seems strange to me, but okay.
He's on the team.
Anyways, I'm curious to hear how that is. That's a series that, like, I will probably go back and, out of curiosity, continue this someday, like when it hits DC Universe or something.
Yeah.
But, nah.
I know. I thought you'd just find that really funny. The World Forger being on there.
Yeah, that's just really, that's strange.
Yeah. It makes sense for the time being, so I'll take it.
I am not excited for this fucking Year of the Villain stuff. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I'm not interested really in that book anymore, and I don't want it to, like, invade all my other books. Ugh. Anyways.
It'll be great. I'm gonna laugh at you every single time it does. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Doug, let's talk about a book that we both read and we both enjoy.
Yeah.
The Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. Let's get back to normal people.
Yeah, just normal people talking about their jobs.
Oh my god, it's Zine Arrow.
Zine Arrow, which, is that how you would pronounce that? Zine?
I did read somewhere that it is supposed to be Zine Arrow.
Okay. So yeah, so this, what was this issue, Jack? What was kind of the premise?
So this issue is about a drug bust. That's about it. You know, regular old story about a drug bust. The heroes at some point get infected with the drug, and they have to deal with it. They have to carry through. That's it. That's the whole story. Moving on.
Yeah, so it's about, like, space drugs coming to Earth, and Green Lantern and Green Arrow have to team up. They used to have a book together. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow. And this is very much feels like, other than the, like, crazy space stuff, their book was very much like, we're more street level characters, and we're dealing with, like, very socially relevant stuff. Like,
yeah.
There's a famous cover that I think this, a famous issue, / plotline that I think this issue / the cover especially is kind of homaging. I'm trying to figure out what the name of that. Snowbirds Don't Fly is the name of the story, and it is the story where Roy Harper, the Red Arrow, Speedy, whatever you want to call him, Arsenal, they find out he is addicted to heroin, I believe.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and there's a cover where he's shooting up and they're catching him doing it.
So instead of him, it's like this alien that's doing it on the cover.
Yeah, it's a little different because they're standing around like talking about it, and Green Arrow's like, my ward is a junkie, and they're not like gonna fight him, but like on this cover, but it's kinda like in the foreground, things shooting up space heroin, and them in the background, like it's definitely like a sort of nod, at least, to that. But
I mean, definitely. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it says at the top. It says the shocking truth about drugs. That series. I have no idea if that stuff would have aged well, but I'm so curious to go back and read that someday, just because I have to know. We got to find it on DC Universe.
I think it's on there. So, anyway, so they're busting up a space drug ring, and while they're doing that, there's also the Zine Lantern, the Zine Arrow is there, and he's a giant alien Green Arrow.
Yes.
And he's there.
he tried to bust them, but he was captured while they were there, and he's very adorable, actually. You know, he's a great guy, Zine Arrow.
Yeah. They use his giant ear. There's a very touching romantic scene, almost like the movie Ghost, where Green Lantern tries to shoot an Zine Arrow's giant bow and arrow, and so he's using a like light construct hand to like shoot it, and Green Arrow comes up behind him to help him aim.
It's so genius. It's just
so he's like aiming Hal Jordan, who is aiming the giant arrow. It's so fucking funny. This
of course, it's a
so
perfect
stupid
hit.
And great.
It's a perfect
I love
hit.
It. Yes, he fires it directly into this like space assassin. It's great.
And then, of course, the KO punch is the giant fist.
Yeah. Which, if they could do that, why did they shoot the arrow?
Doug, you needed the first hit. He would have been too ready for the fist. You know?
Yeah. So, and then, we learn there is a Zine Lantern as well, which is why I kept getting confused. And we learn that Zine is actually this. I'm assuming this is this has to be a callback to like an old like Silver Age story. It has
where he was introduced. I actually just read. Yeah, apparently Roy Harper and Green Arrow just like in this story, they stumbled on a zero dimension like rift, and they were like involved in the story, and they met Zine Lantern. They're mile high people that communicate telepathically. Or Zine Arrow. Sorry, I keep getting that mixed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just about it. He's just there, and they know him.
Yep. And so we learn there's a Zine Lantern, and apparently Zine is a word that describes a wavelength of 530 nanometers, which is the wavelength of green. So it just means green.
Green.
It just means. But it's Zine.
Yeah.
So, sure.
So it's great. I just love that Green Arrow before this is, there's a scene at the beginning of this issue where Green Arrow's like, Hal, you gotta get back down to street level, like what we used to do, like that street level, getting stuff to normal people, like doing random shit. But then like it's this part of Green Arrow, history from the Silver Age that's just ridiculously weird. So Hal Jordan's like, you're so normal, aren't you?
I love this idea that Green Arrow like is bitter towards him because he's this like fancy highfalutin space like cop who like deals with bigger threats than he can deal with.
Yeah.
Like I like that idea.
Yeah,
it is kind of a weird pairing putting them together. Interesting.
I love how he uses the word, he says, take a look at yourself. Polyamorous space tomcat drinking from the faucet. What?
Oh, God. That scene was also kind of goofy. He's like feeding him chili. It's very strange. We get a tease. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is there something with Batman that, like, he says, tell me you didn't fall for this space vampire planet killer you were talking about. Is this and then Hal Jordan says, who do you think I am? Batman? Is that a thing about Catwoman, you think?
I think it's just like for falling for the like dark villain idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be like Catwoman specifically, but I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Talia al Ghul, whatever.
Oh, yeah. God, I guess he does do that.
Yeah, he kind of does. I was just going to say they tease at the end Sinestro being in the series, which is fun. And then they also it says next, the Green Lantern of Earth 20 guest stars in The Day the Stars Fell Down. I just looked it up to see what that was, and Earth 20 is in Multiversity was the Earth of like pulp versions of the DC universe.
Oh.
So it was the one with like Doc Fate and the Immortal Man and Lady Blackhawk and stuff. But it had Abin Sur as the Green Lantern.
Oh, that's so exciting. Yeah, I think I actually read that was the deal. Like, Abin Sur is going to be... That's so cool.
I saw a cover that had a whole bunch of different Green Lanterns on it. So I think that's going to be what the next issue is, which is exciting. I like that.
Very pumped.
Also fun to see Grant Morrison going back to some multiversity stuff, because I don't think we have really seen that yet.
Oh, absolutely not. They really do need to do a follow-up on that sometime.
I'm so fucking frustrated. He announced not that long after Multiversity that he was like, we're going to be starting a, like, this was years and years and years ago. It's probably never going to happen. But he said, like, we're going to do a series of we're going to do like individual series about different Earths in the in the multiverse. And he was like, I'm going to do a book, a multiversity book about a specific version of the Flash. It was like called like Multiversity, the Flash, or something like that. And it would be so fucking good. Like, I want to see his alternate universe version of the Flash. And it was supposed to be like a new line of like, we're going to do multiversity versions of all these different characters, and just never happened.
University, and it was all about like, you set your, like, on the cover, they had a number of, like, what Earth it was, and you got it settled, like, okay, this is, you know, a multiversity story of the flat, like, that's just, it's easy. Easy money, you know?
Yeah, it would be so cool, and, like, yeah, Grant Morrison writing that would be awesome. Anyways.
Yeah. But I did read an interview this week on the Green Lantern. It was Liam Sharp, Grant Morrison talking to somebody. I forgot what it was. But they were talking about how this is basically the first season of what they want to do, and season 2, they're going to have at least that. So it sounds like this is going to go to like 24 issues, which is pretty great.
That is great. Yeah, I am curious I keep expecting this to, like, for the end to be announced at some point, because it feels like something that could very easily be a shorter run or like a maxi series. But I'm totally down for just a longer. Yeah, I love Grant Morrison's long runs on stuff, so they usually only get more satisfying as they go. So, yeah, very exciting.
Totally. Awesome. Let's talk about a different book. Very different. Deceased. Speaking of Hal Jordan, are you surprised The Ring?
I'm sorry, what? Repeat that.
Zombie Hal can still use the Green Lantern ring.
But here's the thing, is, like, he can't make, like, complicated structures. He's just making, like... So he's been kind of zombified here, yeah, and he's just making, like, weird, amorphous, like, claw, like, just abstract things like claws and teeth and stuff, like very organic, very simple structures. So I think that's kind of the idea. Is like, what would a zombie make if they were just like, if it was just like their unconscious mind or whatever, just making things with this ring,
That makes sense.
Is the idea. But yeah, it was surprising that he was still able to use it. So
nonetheless, like this book I just keep loving it more and more. Yeah. First of all, speaking of that scene, just all three of them together, I love Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Dinah, like all Black Canary, all hanging out. It's just kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I didn't even process we had two books, that heavily featured Green Arrow and Green Lantern together.
Yeah, that's and fun. More of Green Arrow's fun, ridiculous side. He fires an arrow that has a boxing glove on the end of it.
Is that not a thing that you were aware of?
No, why? That is
so back under the comics code. You couldn't have characters kill each other, and he's a fucking man with a bow and arrow. So he would have all sorts of trick arrows, like a boxing glove arrow, and that is one that is like made fun of a lot. So you'll if you read more stuff with Green Arrow, you will hear or see references to boxing glove arrows a lot.
It's so fucking great. I loved that. And then it was like, I don't know. I love the idea of Dinah. I feel like because she overcame her fear and was able to kill her friend, I feel like that's the reason why the ring went to her.
Yeah, that, and also just, I don't know, like, she's a strong-willed character, I would think. I would imagine she would be able to use a Green Lantern ring, but I don't know. You could probably say that about a lot of characters in the superheroes in the DC universe. But I think it's cool. Like, yeah, Black Canary is a Green Lantern in this story, and that's something that's so cool about. Like, I love this is kind of you're seeing a lot of what was kind of the appeal of the Tom Taylor's Injustice book.
Yeah,
was just kind of like him just fucking like throwing DC shit in a blender. It's just like, let's play with all these concepts since we're not like bound to continuity, but also has a very firm grasp on like who the characters are.
Yeah.
So it all still works. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, is the implication here with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy? Are they like an item? Is that a thing in regular continuity?
Kind of. Yeah, like, I mean, you got a lot more of that in like Heroes in Crisis. Like, yeah, they're kind of a thing.
It never really clicked, I guess. I just always thought they were like really, really good friends for some reason. Like,
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure because I have never read like the Harley Quinn series, and I'm assuming it would be more directly addressed in there.
Yeah.
If at all. But I'm not sure if it has ever been like explicitly stated that they're like a couple, but it's becoming increasingly clear over the last like 2-ish years or something that people are like, no, these two are a couple, even if we're not saying it.
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting because, like, Harley was in a relationship for years with someone who controlled her every move, who was an unhealthy, abusive person to her. And now she's with someone who can control people's moves.
But doesn't do it to her, it doesn't seem like.
It's just, I think it might be an enlightened character choice to do that because, like, it's a character maybe she falls for all the time, like it's her type in a way.
Sure, I guess. I don't know, but it also they seem to be also like the distinction they always seem to be making is that like regardless of Poison Ivy's powers, like this is supposed to be the like healthy alternative to her old relationship. Like that's definitely a thing. Like you saw that in Heroes in Crisis. They address it a bit in Tom King's Batman. There's some Poison Ivy Harley Quinn stuff.
I think also it looks like I'm just noticing here in this scene, Poison Ivy specifically kisses her on the cheek here. And I think that is actually a sign of like, because doesn't she usually control people by kissing them on the lips?
She's not controlling her. That's no. It has never been implied. But
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like symbolically, like she usually controls people by kissing them on the lips first, right?
That can be a thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it has been, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying that her kissing her specifically on the cheek shows, like, this is a sign of love, and it's not me doing my thing that I've controlled people with before,
okay,
you know?
Sure, you could read it as, yeah, I think that works. Remember in Batman and Robin, where they have the, like, fake lips?
Yeah, the reveal
I wore this weird plastic over my lips so I could kiss you. It's like, why didn't you just not kiss her?
Like,
if anything, that's creepy.
Yeah. He just wanted to get some of that Uma Thurman, hot action.
That hot Uma action.
Also, my other thing is Aquaman's definitely not dead. We don't see a dead body.
He maybe they didn't show him get they like cut just before he got like scratched, so I'm guessing he'll come back up later.
And my second thing is I really hope Batman's actually dead. I really hope they use this opportunity to just end his life. There's no like trick or anything, like he's just gone. I just really hope so.
Well, that seemed to be the point. It seemed like he was going to be dead after last issue. Yeah. And like this was a little bit of a swerve in that like he's still around by keeping himself in one of Mr. Freeze's suits. Mm-hmm. So to like stave off the infection. Mm-hmm. So he's keeping himself cold. But I think it was just to get that like last sequence with him. And he's turned into a fucking zombie here.
No, I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah. And Alfred shoots him with a shotgun, and that they don't show it, but yeah, I really hope he's dead.
Yeah. But I mean, I did really like the stuff they did with him here. Like this moment with Damian is just heartbreaking. He goes, "Batman? Father? Dad?" Like it's just heartbreaking, really. Like, and
I'm so curious what's in that box. Is it the Batman costume? Is is Damian going to become Batman in this book?
I'd fucking dig on it.
That'd be cool. Did you say? What did you say?
I dig on it.
Oh, you dig on it. Okay. All right.
What'd you think I said?
I don't know. Something about a dick.
Damien, the new star of Batman Damned, is going to show us penis in the third issue.
No. Okay. All right. No, we're getting away from that.
Okay. Do you want to move on? Wait, by the way, real quickly, did you read Batman Damned number 3 yet?
No, I think it's supposed to come out this next week. It keeps getting pushed in my app, so I'm not sure when it's actually supposed to come out.
Oh.
So,
okay. Never mind.
I think it was actually supposed to come out this previous week, and it didn't end up coming out because I saw it on Comic List. So I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on.
All right.
Doug, what do you think about the Guardians of the Galaxy annual?
So this annual was a kind of a bunch of little short stories, or a few of them, with a kind of wraparound, whatever you want to call it. So it's by a few different writers and artists. One of them, the kind of wraparound one by Donny Cates, with art by John McCrae. Mm-hmm. There was a story by Al Ewing and Yildray, maybe is how you pronounce that. Sonar, and one by Teeny Howard, Ibrahim Mustafa, and one by Zach Thompson and Lonnie Nadler, and art by Felipe Andrade. I regret getting myself into that sentence where I started saying all of the creative teams. That was Anyways, so it's a bunch of short stories, and your mileage may vary, but generally, I really liked this issue. Yeah,
I think it was I don't know about any of the characters that were in this book, really. Like, this was my first introduction to most all of them.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about Nova, and I know next to nothing about any of these other characters.
Yeah.
So, I was pretty interested. I liked the Al Ewing Nova story. It was like nothing spectacular, but I found it interesting to learn a little more about him.
Well, it's just interesting ideas like put in place because I really liked the idea that, like, you know, we think about all these huge cosmic events that happen, but we don't spend too much time on, like, the day-to-day, like what's really happening after this event, who's in power now. I really like that focus put on there. And if Donny Cates, like, well, I guess it wasn't Donny Cates writing that, but I don't know, Nova's a part of his run right now, so maybe who knows.
I like this idea of this like sect of Skrulls who have their own planet, and they just really like making themselves look like 20s gangsters.
Yes.
And they talk like these palookas, they got use outnumbered. Oh boy. And they look like human 20s gangsters and flappers, and little newsboys. And it's very funny, and apparently the Skrulls see them as like degenerates because they're like glorifying an enemy civilization.
Yeah.
And that's fucking, what a ridiculous thing to treat so seriously.
It's fucking great. It's like if we like wanted to murder all furries because they were degenerates. You know what I mean?
And I want to make it clear, we do not.
No.
But anyways, I'm
sorry, I don't mean to put you in these hard positions, Doug.
Anyways, yeah, but they're taking such a ridiculous idea and they're making it going such a dark direction with it. But
it's so great. Al Ewing is really like, after reading Immortal Hulk, like Al Ewing is just so on the top of my list to look for stuff from him.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely curious to see what big thing he does next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we had this story with Adam Warlock that I really like the art on. I didn't really get much out of it.
I mean, it was fine. It was just a fine, like, nice little story. I was confused for a little bit because both Quasar, the guy that Nova was talking to, and Adam Warlock are white, blonde-haired men with similar color schemes. So,
oh sure,
I kind of thought they were the same person at first. I thought this guy was just having a really rough day.
Yeah, if I like go back a page, I do see like guy with blonde hair and cape, and it fades to white, and then next page we're looking at blonde guy with cape floating through space. So yeah, that is a little bit confusing. I just happen to know what Adam Warlock's new costume looks like. Yeah. So,
but yeah, so I was like, wow, this really changed pace, and this guy just kind of, turned on a dime, didn't he?
Yeah.
But it was fine. Yeah, I really liked the art. I liked the furry creatures.
Mm-hmm. They're these weird, like, pink not Ewoks, Wookiees. These, like, pink Wookiee people.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, they're kind of fun looking. The story is, like, I'm interested that they did a story about, like, this, like, creature who, like, instills himself as a god to then like force these people into servitude to him as an army.
Yeah,
which is pretty dark, but the story was okay. Yeah, I don't know.
That was probably my least favorite one, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So like,
no, it was fine. Like, it was fine. It was interesting, but just nothing like standout. This last one, other than the wraparound one, holy shit, I want this.
Yes, and talk about a fucking character that I have a passing knowledge.
I know nothing about this character.
Passing knowledge of like Nova, of Adam Warlock. I've heard his name before. Darkhawk. Who the fuck is this? Let me read everything.
I've read, I have not read. I know the name, and I have seen a cover with him on it before. That is it. And this, at least, I have no idea if these creators are people associated with him or not. If they are, I want to read their book. But this team of writers and this artist and this colorist even are all, this is fucking good. I want to read more of this. I really hope it spins off into something.
Yeah. No, definitely. Wasn't he a part of like, he was a part of that like cast of characters that they originally released, like who's going to be on the new Guardians team, right?
He was definitely, I mean, like that's what all these characters were at that like meeting. Okay. So he might have been on the like cover because they had like a bunch of space characters that not all of whom ended up actually being on the team. But Yeah, he was definitely there at the like big gathering of all the space characters.
Okay. And I really like, okay, it sounds like his original status quo was that he has this suit, and when he doesn't wear the suit kind of replaces him, but his mind, like, pilots it, so his body is in a different place. Is that?
Yes, which is very Miracle Man. If I know you haven't read that, but, like, it's something that reminded me of that in a good way, but they're playing it with it in a different way.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a suit of armor, but he's not normally in it, and they put him in it in a fucking weird way.
Yeah.
Unexpected way, and holy shit, I love this art. Holy shit, I really love the introspection into this character and how he thinks about everything.
Yeah.
And the twist of what they do with him in the suit of armor is really... I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
It's very short feeling, but it left me wanting more for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a little taster, but I mean, I hope this character is a part of the grand, cosmic scheme that Donny Cates is putting. Even if it just spins off into its own series, I'd read that in a second. Yeah,
I'm not finding any, like, at least self-titled Darkhawk stuff that at least has this creative team on it.
Yeah.
But there is Darkhawk stuff. There's a 50-issue run from 91, looks like. He's definitely a 90s character. You can fucking tell.
Oh, yeah.
But he's 90s as shit. His name is Darkhawk. Like, that's some 90s ass shit. I have no idea if I would actually be interested to read the original stuff. But, yeah, look, he's fighting Venom on a bunch of these covers. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna do some research on my own and see what is worth reading with this guy in it.
Yeah.
Because I was super intrigued by both the character and this specific approach to him. So,
yeah.
Stand out for sure.
Definitely. Big fan. I also really, really love the art on Donny Cates' wraparound, this Cosmos stuff. I really enjoy, who's it? Don McCrea?
John McCrea. Sorry, what the hell am I talking about? I know who John McCrea is. John McCrea did the art on this. The art is that on that is good. Is very good. It's a very short bit, but I love it. All hinges on how fucking funny this, like, ridiculous Russian accent dialogue that Cosmo is speaking in.
Yeah, so that's not normal, right?
I have no idea how he normally talks.
Oh, okay.
But he's Russian.
Okay.
He's a Russian space dog. So I'm assuming that's just Donny Cates' interpretation of that. But anyways, he's been, like, mind controlled by these people, and the kind of through line through this whole thing is, like, there is some sort of new religious fanatic kind of sect that has kind of united both the Skrulls and the Kree.
Yeah.
And they're led by this villain who has taken over Cosmo to find all these other characters. I'm assuming this is going to spin off into the Silver Surfer Black stuff. Although maybe not. No, actually, no. I think this is going to go into the next Guardians arc.
Yeah, because the Silver Surfer Black stuff just seems like he's going to be in the black hole and we're going to be going through.
Yeah, because I think that's actually sort of a flashback, that Silver Surfer stuff.
Yeah,
well, they mentioned them getting out of it in this one, in, like, a one-liner. So, yeah.
So yeah, I'm really happy that this turned out to be, like, a really good collection and an introduction to characters. One character in particular that I'm super interested in. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I think for what this is, it, like, really did its job. Like, they picked a bunch of characters I don't know as much about. I learned a bunch about those characters, and I'm pretty intrigued to read about one, if not more, of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool,
awesome,
very nice. Anything else you want to talk about? I will say, Shazam, I really liked. Samantha was telling me that she was a little disappointed by the last page because it seemed like throughout Shazam, like, they were setting up for them not to be able to use their word or powers anymore, because I don't know, there was a moment where, like, the wizard says, "I'm very angry with you guys." And, like, Black Adam and Savannah are in a tussle, and Savannah's like, "Oh, let's give him all the power," or something. So I thought in the second to last panel, when Mary decides to show her parents what they are, that they're superheroes, I thought that it was going to be like, oh shit, I haven't become this. Like, what's going on? I thought that was going to be the reveal. But then it was just kind of like, oh, she showed them, which is a big deal.
Interesting. I did not get that impression at all.
Really?
But I definitely see how that could be a direction they could go in.
I don't know. I just thought, like, a lot of times, you know, you want to show someone who you really are. You finally get the nerve up to tell them, and then, oh, I can't do it. I don't know. I guess I was just thinking about that. But, I mean, this is perfectly fine. It was a great story. Like, it's kind of weird how they, like, I guess we have implications for what's going to happen next. Like, I guess Mr. King Kid is on the warpath and going to invade the regular lands. Like, that's a big deal. But it just seemed like they got out of their situations a lot easier than I thought they were going to be. You know?
They're tabling them for later. You know, they're gonna come back to even bigger to haunt them.
You're right.
You know, they're just right now the like challenges. They all need to get back together so that they can face these threats together. Yeah. You know, and yeah. So, yeah. I could see how they could move in that direction. That like the wizard shows up and says he's angry at them. Mm-hmm. He says you have no idea how much trouble you're in, which is interesting. But
he's usually dead in canon, right?
I thought he was dead, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I remember we had like a flashback sequence where we saw Billy like going up to him and he gave him the power and stuff. But I don't remember if he like just faded away or if he died, or I don't remember. Like, obviously,
I thought in this continuity, like in the movie, that he like it was his like dying act.
Yeah,
because he was the last of the wizards or whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways,
we'll just have to see.
Also, I cannot think of another superhero who is from Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure. There's gotta be another one.
Yeah,
but they kind of like retcon. I'm assuming this is a retcon. I'm not sure. But it felt like one. Because Billy's dad shows up here, Billy Batson's dad, and he tells him that he was born in Zumbrota, Minnesota. Which
is that a real city?
I believe so.
I mean, why would they make up a city?
I've heard that name a bunch. Zumbrota, city in Minnesota. Yes.
Okay.
So there's gotta be another superhero from Minnesota, like someone from the Great Lakes Avengers or something.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. They're right there. Let's see. Wait, is this in Bumfuck Norway, or is this in
Bumfuck Norway?
Sorry, nowhere is what I meant. Oh, I was reading something the other day.
I have no idea where it is.
It's like it's not that actually far from the cities. It's actually pretty close. You could drive there.
Just look. All right, I gotta go visit the home of Shazam.
Amen. No, I was reading something the other day, like how, they should make a Thor book, or they should have the Thor characters speak like Minnesotans, because they're now Americanized, Norwegian people. So that should be it, right?
That who should? I'm sorry.
The Thor characters, Thor, Loki, they should speak with Minnesotan accents.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Yeah, he's just. I'm allowed to do that, by the way, because I'm from here. So,
Frances McDormand isn't from there. She did a great job.
Yeah, and that was a very offensive performance.
Oh, Loki, you can't go up north there. You can't do that.
Oh, Loki, come on, stop causing mischief. We're gonna have some of this tater tot hot dish.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's great stuff. I don't think I have anything more to say about anything else. Meet the Skrulls ended, and it was a nice story. And I like that story better than Black Hammer 45.
Oh boy, I haven't read. That is the one shared book I have not read this week. And
no spoilers. That series I just kind of wish I didn't read, because it was just doesn't really give me anything. It's just kind of like, okay, cool. I think you got that idea already.
I'm kind of disappointed that the first, not all done by, or not, well, the first one that wasn't scripted by Jeff Lemire was done by a not, super all-star writer. Ray Fox is fine. He did an okay job. I've really liked some stuff that he has done before, but, he's not he's not a big name. He's not a solid bet. And, they should have fucking got, they should have been, they should have gotten, Mike Mignola to do this or some shit. Gosh. It should have been someone, known for pulp stuff for, like they should have gotten Ed Brubaker, like that kind of shit. I don't know.
I know what you mean. I just feel like so much less satisfied from this one compared to the other spin-offs that we've had. I don't feel like I learned. I don't feel like I learned anything new about the universe, even though we did, but I don't feel like we did, It's
so tangential, which would be fine if the story, like, blew you a little more out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, this level of storytelling would get away with it a lot more if it was a little more tied into the current timeline.
Yes.
With the current characters.
Yeah.
But, like, because it's so off to the side, it needs a stronger script. And it's just not there.
Definitely.
But, yeah. Also, I think a lot of it is I have really no reaction or connection to Matt Kent's art.
I like his art a lot, and also I really like the dogfighting stuff in there. The action scenes that he did here I thought were great, but...
The dogfighting stuff is the stuff that works the best, I think. But something about his style just doesn't connect with me for whatever reason. I don't know.
I can understand it.
But whatever.
But yeah, someday I feel like you should read the Scrolls. It's just a really nice story. It's really great, and I think they mentioned at the back that a character or some characters are going to show up in other books from that.
Yeah, that is the kind of thing that I probably will not go back to unless it shows up randomly on Comixology Unlimited at some point.
Got it.
Then I will check it out. But
okay,
maybe.
Cool. But yeah, that's about all I have. Should we go into what we got next week?
Yeah.
Okay. I get to read it. Fuck you, Doug.
Shoot.
Detective Comics, number 1005. This one bothers me, by the way, and I want to say that. It also really bothers me. Event Leviathan, number 1. Why can't they just fucking call it Leviathan, number 1? Because there's a book called Leviathan already right now on the stands. That's probably why.
Yeah, there's already a book called Leviathan. Wait, is there?
Yeah, by John Layman.
Oh, yes. Yes, I read the first issue of that. Boy, I forgot all about that. It is very forgettable. I was confused for a really long time because it's like they kept putting Event Leviathan on things, and I kept assuming like it was just like them notating like this is an event book called Leviathan or something like that. And then as I got closer and closer, I kept like having multiple realizations of, oh shit, this book is just literally called Event Leviathan, which kind of makes sense. It's like, I don't know, it's Event Zero or something, like whatever. It's like that.
Yeah.
But something about it doesn't read right.
Yeah. Well, it's like calling, let's say, ongoing Detective Comics number 1005. Like, it sounds like that.
I think it's because it's an event book. Is why it feels weird. But
even though it literally is the point of it, then the definition.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing, but
whatever.
I'm very excited for that book.
Yeah, it'll be great. It's next week. I'm so excited. It's my first Alex Maleev art to read, so I'm pumped.
Yeah, he's great.
Then we also got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 7. Still continues to be awesome. Mm-hmm. Immortal Hulk number 19. Invaders number 6, which is not the end.
That's still crazy to me.
I know.
I can't believe that.
I'm so interested to see. Like, I'm sure, honestly, I'm really, really faithful. Like, I have faith that's going to stay at the right level, like, of quality. So,
yeah.
I'm excited. We got Outer Darkness number 7. You're still reading that, right?
I might not pick this one up. I'm not sure. No, it's still on my pull at my store. I'll pick it up. But
for the shame.
But yeah, I'm not super enjoying that one lately.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's fine. Does it feel a little 90s to you?
It just feels a little kind of meandering. Like, I don't really know it just kind of stuff happens and there aren't, like, it isn't like episodic enough in that, like, there are clearly defined, like, and here now they're dealing with this. It's just kind of like things happen and they're all kind of overlapping. Yeah. And I never really get a sense of what the book is trying to do.
I can understand. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got the final of Prodigy as well, number 6, which I'm excited for. Yeah. We have number 1 of Silver Surfer, Black by Donny Cates. Super pumped for that.
The new fucking Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale miniseries about Silver Surfer Black,
where Sam Wilson becomes Silver Surfer.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Anyways, sorry, we're referencing we've talked about it on the show before, but just to clarify that joke, we're making fun of the very unfortunately titled Jeff Loeb Tim Sale series that took place just after the original Captain America took back the mantle of Captain America from Sam Wilson, a black man, and they titled the series, which had been in the works for like 10 years and was always called this, but bad timing, they called it Captain America White. Bad timing. They have a series of comics where they call them colors.
Yes.
Yes. Spider-Man Blue is one of them. Bad title though.
What if this series was called Silver Surfer? Silver.
Which, like, wouldn't make sense. Because the whole point of those titles is like, it's like Hulk Gray because he used to be gray.
Yeah.
Daredevil Yellow is another one. They just put blue on Spider-Man because I don't know what else you call that. That's a color. But anyways, Silver really Surfer, Silver. He's always silver.
Have you ever read anything drawn by Trad Moore before?
None. I feel like I just did.
Oh.
I feel like I just read something that had Tradmore art on it.
I don't know. Look it up. I'm really excited. Looks cool. Donny Cates says it's supposed to be like some of the trippiest shit we've ever read, so he's going...
Cover looks fucking weird. So, yeah.
What else? Silver Surfer in a black hole. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have Superman number 12. Very excited. That book's great.
Very excited. Yes. I'm excited for more Unity Saga stuff. I assume it's going to be somewhat disconnected from this Leviathan thing, unless it's also going to tie into that. I don't know.
I have no idea. But we'll see. Do you want to talk about any of these old... Let me just actually give a little bit of word. Do you want to talk about Starman at
all? Briefly. I know you're very excited to talk about it, but yeah, we can have a brief conversation.
Do a brief. We'll talk about it more in another time. Okay, no, I'm not going to talk briefly about it. I'm sorry. It takes more.
Oh, okay.
No, I really enjoy it. And it was sort of a first of its kind thing. And I feel like a connection to it because I spent so long getting to know this character consistently, like for months. And it's just really cool. And I want to know, like, do they use Jack Knight ever again? Like, does he show up?
He's in, if you are talking about reading James Robinson and then Jeff Johns's, mostly Jeff Johns's, JSA book.
Yeah.
Justice Society book. He is in the first few arcs of that.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
I've read the first, 6 issues.
He definitely shows up and he, comes in and out a few times. He's definitely in it. He's definitely in the first issue, and he definitely shows up again in the first arc a few times.
Okay, the Starman from the Legion of Superheroes shows up.
He's
on the team.
Dude, what book did you start reading?
Justice Society of America by Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham.
I think you might have jumped into the wrong book.
Okay, it starts with Justice Society of America starts with what is it? Batman. It's like shots of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman talking about how Justice Society of America is a family, and then Power Girl is on the team. She's in a place of power and stuff. They go to find Cyclone, Maxine, whatever.
How many issues have you read?
I've read 6.
Is the first issue written by James Robinson?
No.
Then you're not reading the right book.
That's bullshit. It's called Justice Society of America.
I think you jumped into the later run. They relaunched it at a certain point.
Okay, so when does it start?
It starts... It is... Oh, boy. I'll look it up right now, but it is, I think what you are reading is Justice Society of America as opposed to JSA.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, I am not.
JSA, is it 1999? No.
I think that's it.
It's how much of there is this?
There's a lot.
James
you read 6 issues of the relaunch series that they did like halfway through.
I did feel pretty lost, but I really liked it.
Yeah, no, they James Robinson launches that in 99. He does like an arc or two and then hands it off to Jeff Johns.
Holy shit. So
it starts with the death of an original member and them coming together at the funeral.
So how long does Jeff Johns write this? Not to the end, it doesn't look like.
I think it might continue after him. I'm not sure, but he writes all after Robinson leaves. He writes all of the rest of that JSA run.
I'm looking at this. So he goes up to issue 77, I guess, of 87. So they have different people do like the last few bit, but damn, that's a lot. Shit.
Yeah. That's very confusing, but yeah, you need to go back and read that JSA.
Well, I'm so excited because I was liking this stuff, but it was like, it wasn't hitting that hard, I guess. But
yeah,
it was really good though. Did you read this redo too?
I've not gotten that far.
Oh, well, it's good.
I'm in like the later parts of JSA. So.
Holy shit. I was thinking, because, there's only 26 issues of this that he writes.
I did not know that, but sure.
So he like hands it off at some point, and I'm like, well, that's not that much. How is he not that far in?
Yeah, no, that's because that's like the finale.
Fuck.
Or not even finale. I don't know. I have no idea what that function says, that like second series.
I feel so stupid.
But that is like, yeah, like if you buy omnibuses of his run, which I think they're like currently in the process of putting out, like it starts with his JSA and they continue on through Justice Society of America. So,
okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm really excited. I don't think it's spoiled. It probably didn't spoil anything for me. I probably won't like remember anything.
It's just interesting that you finished Starman and there would have been such an easy, cool transition for you to go right into JSA.
Yeah.
Because it's by James Robinson, has Starman in it, and actually kind of starts partway through that run. It kind of spoiled some Starman stuff for me, actually. But, and Starman kind of goes away after a little bit.
Because of the end of his run?
He like leaves for some reason for something relating to... I think it's when he goes off into space or something.
Okay.
He like leaves JSA, and then he just kind of doesn't come back.
Okay.
At least as far as I have. Or no, because they, so sorry, spoilers for Starman. At the end he hands it off to,
the Courtney.
What's her face? Courtney. She basically takes his place on the team.
Huh.
So. She's great. So
I'm really excited to read this now.
Yes, you should go back and read.
You should have told me it was like a direct continuation. I don't know.
I thought I had basically said. I told you like a bunch of times that it starts with James Robinson.
I don't remember that. I just remember always hearing Jeff Johns.
I'm 100% said this multiple times that because you've asked me about it. You were like, "Oh, wow! It starts with like it doesn't start with Jeff Johns." Anyways. That's definitely a thing that happened. Roll back the tape.
What?
I'm getting Tony. He's rolling back the tape.
Oh, okay. Roll back the tape. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really just gobsmacked right now. I love using that word.
Okay. Yeah, you're just stunned. Maybe we should get out of here then.
Okay, let's get out of here. Just quick word. I'm halfway through the first trade of Seven to Eternity, and it's fucking awesome.
It's so good. It's one of the most gorgeous comic books I've ever read.
It really is.
Just gorgeous.
I figured right now, like, this is a good time to do it because the last arc is going to start in, like, or no, they don't know when the last arc is going to be. But I just really want to, like, have it under my belt. It's a nice story that I can finish right now. I have everything I need, so.
Yeah. And it's amazing. I love it's a really different kind of fantasy world. and story, and I absolutely adore that book. I really wish it came out on a more regular basis because I feel like I lose the thread, the like plot thread in my head.
Yeah.
Every time I try to open a new issue. So I'm willing to bet it reads way better in trade, but
it's been great thus far. I gotta think
I can't wait to look at Jerome Peña's art. So
I can't
I have to read it anyways.
I can imagine like why you like it so much, because a lot of this book it involves a lot of really cool powers that people have, and really interesting, crazy powers. Like this dude with the fucking flutes, and this like motherfucking dad who, okay, don't tell me, but at this point he just got buried in sand in the first issue. Mm-hmm. But he has this like eye above him and all that seeing sword shit, and his daughter, like, it's so fucking cool. And this fucking villain, the God of Whispers, the Mud King, I'm sorry. Fucking some of the coolest design I've ever seen.
Did they explain what his deal is yet? Like why he's the God of Whispers?
Yeah, he can like, he basically manipulates people by, I'm kind of unclear if his power includes knowing exactly what people want, or like, because I know like it's like they let him connect with them, and then he can.
I think it is definitely an innate part of his power. I don't know if they ever have directly addressed how he knows what people want, but I feel like it's implied that he has some sort of sense of what people want.
But see, I don't know if I'd like that better than like, what if like he has this power to like connect people and see through people, but only if they let him, and then like the part that it's like knowing exactly the very thing they want is just like something he studied, or like
he's just like a fucking like Littlefinger-esque kind of like manipulator.
Like if that was the reason why this like all in all regular mutation, like mutation that wouldn't be any better than the rest of them, it would just be a soldier, a very powerful soldier that can do things.
That's probably more interesting.
But because he has that awareness, that intelligence, he's able to like fucking just make it ridiculous.
I don't think they ever address that it is a power, so that's probably actually the case. So I don't know.
Headcanon. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to about do it for this week, Doug. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's going to do it.
Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Pretty please, with cherry on top, give us a star rating or review on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week. Or better yet, subscribe to this podcast feed and never have to think about it. Valuable content. Doug, did you notice that I kind of shortened this up a little bit?
Oh, did you? Wow, you did. New language in here.
It's great.
And you can do that on many podcast apps. Many! You put many in bold all caps.
Thank you.
Many! Such as, including iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play Music.
Are you trying to show my work by making it longer, even though I shortened it?
Oh yeah, I'm going to stretch this baby out.
Okay.
So whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered.
You've seen Zootopia, right? With the sloths?
Yeah, I'm the sloth. You can also find web archives of all our previous episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. And on our YouTube channel, we are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, social media things. We are under the handle at Comics Covered. Look for us that way. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media or an email to our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. I said that weird. comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening to the show. I am Doug.
I'm Jack Foley. And this has been Comics Covered. Cheerio.